Now, probably one of the best things to have ever happened to the Star Wars franchise under the Disney era of Star Wars is that Jon Favreau was hired by Lucasfilm to really take on Star Wars in a different direction, all thanks to, of course, Bob Iger, and later on with Bob Chapek. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, there's one thing about Jon Favreau that I think a lot of fans really love is the fact that, number one, he's a hardcore Star Wars fan, number two, he's very passionate when it comes to his work, and number three, he is going to be respecting George Lucas's vision and will be transferring in a lot of Star Wars Legends material into the new TV shows that he is currently working on. And that's not just The Mandalorian. It's the Kenobi TV series, it's the Ahsoka Tano TV show. He has some form of creative control over everything Star Wars moving forward. And we do know that Bob Iger spoke about this at the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, stating that he sees a lot of George Lucas within Favreau, and that he really reminds him of George Lucas, when he was making the original trilogy. Now, here's the thing about Favreau, is that he actually had a lot of issues with The Last Jedi. It was one of the main reasons as to why he wanted to jump into Star Wars, to really steer it in the right direction, especially with television. He really wanted to be the very first person to really just show that Star Wars can be successful even on television, whether it be on a streaming service or whatever. And, he really proved us right, I think. I think that The Mandalorian really kind of came out of left field in a really good way. It was a very big surprise. A lot of fans were very actually, in tune with it. A lot of fans out there and a lot of creators over at Lucasfilm and Disney as well are very excited to see what season 2 and 3 have to offer and what kind of, reception that they're really going to get from the Star Wars fans. And that's the biggest point, is that Disney needs a high success rate when it comes to these new Star Wars shows. Now, with that being said, of course, now that Star Wars is heading in a better direction, the Star Wars fandom is hopefully about a great recovery, and of course, the Star Wars franchise with the new films and TV shows are all set to release in the coming years. Now, it's said that Jon Favreau is hard at work on developing detailed projects for the Star Wars universe that will serve as the core of the new universe that he is actively working on with other creators like Dave Filoni and even George Lucas. However, it's said that behind the scenes, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy wants to fire Jon Favreau or cancel his projects, as she is very unimpressed with his work on the 2 new seasons of The Mandalorian and even the Kenobi TV series, and is not happy also about his plan to bring back actor Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, as Kennedy sees him as a bad actor and does not want him involved with Star Wars, as she was very much careful about who she actually puts in the new Star Wars projects. Now, Kennedy's biggest problem lies with the return of Anakin Skywalker in a big way for this new universe, and that Kennedy is against that decision by Jon Favreau, and even had conversations with Bob Chapek to get rid of Jon Favreau, to where discussions did take place briefly. However, Chapek refused to cater to such an offer or demand like that from Kathleen Kennedy, and that Jon Favreau is here to stay. However, Kennedy still has issues with Favreau's work on the new projects, since it does not fit her own agenda, and feels that this new direction destroys her own legacy by showing fans a transition of what Kennedy did to what they are doing now without Kathleen Kennedy for the most part. Now, the thing about Kennedy is that she's very unhappy with Hayden's return and the return of Anakin Skywalker, and believes that this is going to really minimize Kennedy's legacy, making the fans forget exactly what happened with Star Wars when it came to the sequel trilogy. And you know what? I think it's right. I think that this is a right direction to go in by bringing back Hayden/Anakin, by having Favreau get a lot of creative control over these new projects. This is a really good move by Disney. And Kennedy, Kennedy just really doesn't like it. She's not all that impressed with all these new plans by Favreau, and she wants to end all of it. The fact that she really got so desperate to the point where there were conversations between the higher-ups at Disney, Bob Chapek as well, with Kathleen Kennedy, where she actually was trying to propose this idea to get rid of Favreau. And, well, thankfully, Chapek refused that demand or that offer or that overall concept. And they are really rolling the dice here. And they're going to see how things really, roll out and exactly how things play out. with Favreau, Dave, and George all working together as a team to deliver authentic Star Wars stories for the fans to enjoy. And you know what? This really is a better direction for Star Wars. This is the ultimate path to take in order to really get this great recovery for the Star Wars franchise, since of course a lot of fans left the actual Star Wars brand since the release of The Last Jedi and even the rise of Skywalker. So, like I've said before in the past, let me know what you think about the entire situation here with Kathleen Kennedy and others, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one. From night to moon,